Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I'm your host, Mark Francis. Harry and Meghan have issued a statement defending their Archwell Foundation's donations after reports surfaced claiming the charity directed significant funds toward Democratic-aligned causes in the United States. We'll provide you with some approximate dollar amounts in the next section. A report from the New York Post alleged that Archwell had contributed a total of $786,550 to various organizations with links to the Democratic Party, including $250,000 to the Women's Wellness Space, a nonprofit founded by Ashley Biden, daughter of former U.S. President Joe Biden. The center, launched in 2023, focuses on trauma-informed wellness support for women in North Philadelphia. Archwell's annual impact report for 2023-24 had already outlined its involvement as a founding partner of Ms. Biden's initiative, describing the organization's mission as providing support and opportunities for formerly incarcerated women. Additional donations listed in the report included $146,948 to George Craig, a media strategist known for advising Democratic campaigns on countering disinformation, and $155,615 to Herlihy Loughran, a consulting firm founded by two former royal aides. Another $90,359 was directed to Markup News Incorporated, a nonprofit focused on digital privacy and misinformation, reportedly funded in part by Democratic donors. In response to the scrutiny, a spokesperson for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle refuted suggestions of political bias, stating, "It's important to note the Duke and Duchess did not endorse any candidate in the 2024 presidential election, and to suggest they're trying to curry favor with the Democratic Party simply because a donation went to Ashley Biden's nonpartisan nonprofit focused on women's mental health, or because they hired a consultant specializing in digital safety is misguided." The statement went on to reaffirm the couple's philanthropic mission. The Duke and Duchess are committed to investing in people and initiatives that truly make a difference. However, critics have called for further scrutiny of Archwell's financial activity. Niall Gardner, a fellow at the Conservative Heritage Foundation, which has previously pushed for the release of Prince Harry's U.S. visa records following admissions in his memoir Spare, told the New York Post, "Harry and Meghan still retain royal titles and should not be engaging in any way in political activity. It's actually outrageous." In the Times, Roya Nicker theorized on why Trump may prefer William over Harry, and it's really quite simple. Roya writes, "Trump probably calculates that taking sides in a royal rift aligns him with the brother higher in the pecking order, who is more useful to him on the global stage. The president is also an ardent fan of top-tier royalty. As the next monarch, William holds the key to the pomp and pageantry Trump admires. Harry closed the door on all that when he moved to California. To Trump, he is just a celebrity." Unedifying, though, as it is to see a president casting aspersions at the fifth in line to the throne, does Trump have a point about Harry's problems? After Invictus, what's next for Harry? Much of Harry's former British fan base has fallen out of love with the Spare, who now languishes near the bottom of royal popularity polls, just above Uncle Andrew. He used to top these polls. Why the slide? Because the memories of Harry, the warrior prince returned from Afghanistan, and hijinks in Las Vegas, memories that endeared him to many, are fading. The prince can be a powerful force for good. He is brilliant at connecting with young people, speaks honestly about his struggles after the trauma of losing his mother so young, encouraging awareness, and is a determined champion of veterans. The Invictus Games, where he always looks happiest larking around with former soldiers, will have burnished those credentials again, reminding the world of how many broken lives he has helped rebuild. But if Harry read the recent brutal Vanity Fair feature on the Sussexes, and I'll bet he did, one line may have stopped him in his tracks. The observation from a person who worked closely with them that Meghan's role in their dynamic is caregiver and facilitator. That will have stung the prince, who did 2 tours of Afghanistan but is now portrayed by the Hollywood Bible as the passive member of a celebrity partnership. Speaking of Uncle Andrew, he's 65 today. In earlier years, such a milestone might have been accompanied by a lavish reception at Windsor Castle, a gathering of high-profile guests, and even the tolling of bells at Westminster Abbey. However, following his well-documented fall from grace, the Duke of York's birthday will be a muted affair, reportedly taking place at his residence, Royal Lodge in Windsor. The milestone birthday serves as a reminder of the Duke's dramatically altered position within the royal family. On his 60th birthday, Andrew had been due for a promotion to the honorary rank of Admiral, in line with military tradition. However, in the wake of the backlash from his Newsnight interview in which he defended his association with Jeffrey Epstein, the honour was cancelled. At the time, he announced that he had asked for it to be deferred until his return to public duties, an event that has yet to materialise. Some royal watchers are curious about William and Kate's secret trip. Traditionally, the heir would need to get permission from King Charles. In 2014, William reportedly asked permission from Elizabeth for George to accompany him and Kate on their visit to Australia and New Zealand. Previously, the then Prince Charles has had to ask the Queen before he travelled with his young son, Prince William. Former royal pilot Graham Laurie explained to the Right Royal podcast that we flew all four, the Prince, the Princess, Prince William and Prince Harry, up until when Prince William was 12 years old. After that, he had to have a separate aircraft, and we could only fly all four together when they were young with the written permission of Her Majesty. Nowadays, for instance, the King can't fly with the Prince of Wales. It appears as though the Wales family all flew together. A sombre development from the Royal Air Force community as we learn of the death of Flight Sergeant Zack Stubbings, the man who trained Prince William in helicopter rescue operations. Flight Sergeant Stubbings has died at age 47 after a lengthy battle with multiple myeloma. The father of three, who instructed the Prince of Wales during his time at RAF Valley in Anglesey, had spent 9 years exposed to toxic exhaust fumes from Sea King helicopters. His passing was confirmed by former Navy Commander Richard Sutton, who described him as a lively and bubbly guy and noted the particularly devastating impact on Stubbings' wife Anna Louise, who previously lost both her first husband and 7-year-old child in a tragic car accident in 2015. In a poignant interview last year, Flight Sergeant Stubbings described the constant exposure to black fumes during his service, particularly while operating the aircraft's winch. There was no protection, nothing. We all complained about it, he had said. Flight Sergeant Stubbings was diagnosed in 2013, forcing an early end to what had been a distinguished career in the RAF Search and Rescue Service. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalacintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and leave us a review of 5 stars if you're enjoying the show. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.